All right, hello. Here we are inside of Electrician Simulator VR. And I'm doing a quick walkthrough of this mission because this is where I saw some folks having trouble. And it also kind of deals with fuses and wiring for the first time. So your dad has just said to you, turn on all devices in the house. But he said, like, try turning on the device, see what happens. So what I'm going to do is right here we see we've got a switch. And we'll turn these on, and you can see the lights just turned on. And then over here, we've got a switch that actually goes to this chandelier. And that's like 5 lights. So you'll see when we do that...
Looks like the breaker tripped.
The breaker
Something
tripped.
must be faulty.
So
grab your cable detector and point it at the breaker in the box.
We now want to actually go to the breaker box. So I'm going to go on over here. And we're going to grab the... cable detector from our left belt here, and you point it at
really
just kind of the first breaker right here. So this is the main breaker that turns
the potential
them all
electricity usage here. The
he'll-
cable detector
yeah,
will help, but you'll need to scan the entire installation first. Let's do it then. It's always a good
Let's do
habit
it,
to start
then.
with that on every job anyway.
All right, so yeah, so what he's saying is you need to scan everything, and so in a new job, if you didn't actually do the wiring, you actually do need to go find all the cables. So here it says scanning 0%. So now we have to like look at where all the cables go, and the easiest way to do that is you just follow along with the cables. You can see there's a whole bunch of them here, and I don't know if you can hear the audio cue in this video, but it does make little noises when you've kind of added, you've scanned a little more than ever. You can see here we're at 9% now. And if I take the thing away, but I hold it in my hand, you can see, so this black line is, this has been fully scanned, this cable to its other cable connection. Whereas these gray ones, we've started to, but we haven't found their endpoint. So you want to just make sure to follow all of them. So I'll go ahead and follow this one. And you don't actually have to get the whole thing. Generally at the junctions is where it tends to, add like the points. But we're going to go all the way down here, goes to that switch, we'll get that light there, and we'll get the other light over here as well. And you can see that something to know about the switches is that the way the cabling always works is the bottom input is the power in. So that should be coming from an output somewhere, either directly from the breaker or from a chain from another place. So you can see here, this light switch, the outputs are on the right and the left. So the input came directly from the breaker, input at the bottom, and then on the left and the right side, those are chaining the output. So this is all on a single circuit. And in fact, something to point out, well, actually we won't see it until we scan the whole thing, so let's do that. And then the tops of switches, that always goes to lights. There's no, you're not carrying or you're not chaining the electricity network. You're just taking, it's the directly this switch on would send electricity up this wire. So we're going to go ahead and we'll follow those as well. So they're going to go to the lights. We know that. And that one was painted all the way over there for some reason. There we go. And then this network's done, and then over here we've got this. See, now there's only one more coming out of the light here, so we'll go on up there, and we'll follow that along here. And you can see it's coming down this wall, into this switch. Then we've got the lamp, so that's going up to that chandelier, which is what we tripped the breaker on. And then the output from this switch is continuing around here. And now you see, whenever it ends like that, it means it's going through the wall into the next room. So we want to go ahead and we'll go into this room here. And right here you can see it came through the wall right here, and then it goes into this switch. That's going to go up to this light over here. And then out of the output, it's going to come around here and down to this socket on the ground. All right, so that's all of that, and I think there's still a little bit over here because there's another gray light over here. We'll go ahead, scan this, scan along the wall here. Let's get that junction. There we go. Over here, down, under the table, and around to this outlet.
Back to the breaker box.
So now that triggered the the 100% there. And so if I actually look at any point of the network, you can see scanned 100%. So you don't actually have to go to the breaker. You just need to point anywhere. And we'll go ahead to the breaker, though, because that's the tutorial or the
After scanning all the cables connected to a breaker, you can see its potential and current power consumption. Just switch between modes.
So if I hit the trigger...
As you can see, one breaker is not enough.
See, there's the
Each
current.
light bulb adds 1 unit,
And there's
so
the
the
potential.
chandelier alone consumes a lot of power. Open the store and buy at least 2 more breakers. Then, install them by removing the cover and slotting them in.
So, so the issue here, so just to explain it a little clearer, so this is showing there's 12 devices or lamps, anything, hooked up to this one network, this one breaker right here, and the total, total power output it can handle is 5 devices. So it's not wattage, it's like individual devices, which, a little goofy, but it's just for this game. So if I go to consumption right now, nothing's using any. But what I'll do is if I go ahead and turn, let's actually see if I turn off one of these switches. Let's turn this off, right? So now if I go over here, and we're going to trip the breaker back on. Red is on for danger. That's it feels a little unintuitive. So remember, we've got the actual, this wire, and you can see the electricity is now started. This will shut off everything. So no matter how many breakers we have, and this is just the individual one. So we'll go ahead and turn it on. Electricity is flowing. And you can see here it's showing that there are 3 devices on right now. So consumption of 3 of a possible 5. The potential stays the same, that there are 12 devices hooked to this network. So if we start to turn on more things, so like I will turn on this light, we can now see, if I go to consumption, it's at 4. If I go to the chandelier will actually be another 5 things, and it will trip the breaker again, right? So we'll just, So you saw for a brief moment there was 9, and now it's all shut off again, and the fuse got tripped. As you can see here, they're now down to green for safe, right? So so first what we want to do is we want to install a couple more breakers, because each individual breaker box is 5 devices. So we'll open up the store, and I've already unlocked the one that actually does 10, but you don't usually have that by this point, so you've got to go with the 5. So we're going to pull this faceplate off, if I can. There we go. And then grab one more breaker there, one more there. You can actually put them anywhere, but nice to put them next to each other.
Now it's time to fix your first electrical installation. Remove the cables from the left side of the light switches and connect them directly to the breakers.
So what it's saying there is that, for instance, this light switch, so I'm just grabbing my cable now from my right side, this, and actually we want to make sure, everything's off. So it's saying that, like, instead, so this breaker goes on into this light switch right here. And then it's actually networking through to others, but saying remove this left-hand one, and then wherever this goes, we're actually going to want to directly go to the breaker instead. So we can do it that way. Another main thing to think of here is that we want the chandelier on one single breaker, because that chandelier is 5 and one breaker can handle 5. So we could just remove the input here and just wire directly to the box, which is actually what's going to happen anyway, because I believe this is where the network is coming from. So to remove a wire, what we have to do, whenever you're pulling cable out, you have to actually disconnect it at the switch level, right? So you can grab the switches off the wall and you can see that they're hooked into the wall. So if I try to disconnect this cable right here, it doesn't work, and this tip's saying you got to unplug it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and pull the power wire out, just let go. This is the lamp, so this is the cable going up to the lamp. So these 2 right here represent that bottom power cable. So now that it's unplugged, I can just pull the cable. And so, in this mode, you can basically now just extend the cable, right? So I pulled it out of here, I can extend it down. I can also, by hitting the bottom face button, start pulling the cable out, right? And we can watch it go down. And so that's where that first, left network one is coming out of now, right? So now, instead of chaining from here, we're going to go to a new breaker. So I'll just take this second spot, and it's gone up to the ceiling, and we're going to go directly into the chandelier switch here. So we'll go down here, down. A little ugly because it's going through. Actually, yeah, I don't like it. Let's pull it up. Just go a little bit closer there. Yeah, so it's not as. There we go. And then anytime you connect new power, like, you're going to have to put this back in, right? So that's it. And so now, if we actually go ahead and let's turn, let's have a look, and you can actually see now between these two switches. So this is now only has 5 things connected to it, and this has 7, right? So we could see the 5, and we could just follow this, right? But like essentially, it goes into here, that goes to 2 lights, so that's 2, and then it networks on over here, and then this is another one, so that's 3, 4, and then it goes to that outlet in the far wall plugged into the TV. So that's our 5 on that single network. So that's fine. We can leave that network alone. What we now need to do is over here, we have another one coming out, right? And it's going over here somewhere. So let's go ahead and pull this out, which you can go ahead and pull it. That's the one that goes through here. And it goes on into the input here, right? And so once again, I can't disconnect. So I'm going to have to pull the power cable out of the wall. And then we can just disconnect that cable. But actually, instead of disconnecting it, what I'm going to do is grab it, and now we're going to take this back to that 3rd breaker switch. So, whatever route you want to take, I'm going to go up through the ceiling. So we'll go up here, go back along this way. And it gets a little fiddly, but yeah, you can see it coming out right there. So I'm just going to stop it there, and then we can pull it along down here, and we're going to go ahead, go into the wall there, down the wall, and we'll go into that 3rd breaker, like so. And so now if I look at my scanner again, we can see that of the 3 breakers, we've got one with 5 on its network, another one with 5 on its network, and then this final one with 2 on its network. So that should not trip anything anymore. So if I go ahead and flip all these switches on, and we didn't turn on all the devices yet, so that's part of it. I can go ahead and go through the whole thing as well. Maybe I'll split it into 2 videos. But that's how you get the breakers up and running. And just to prove, we can see, so the chandelier is on, but also all these lights are on. We can turn the TV on right here, and nothing, the breakers are not being tripped. So I'll end it here, and then I'll go ahead and finish it, and you can watch the second part if you want to see the whole thing done with the challenges. Bye for now.